What is going on, everyone? It is the Draft Nerd here. I'm so glad to be back. Sorry I took such a long hiatus. To be honest, it was really because I was moving. As you could tell, the setup's a little different. It was hard to watch as much basketball and feel as like I have the knowledge to be able to make videos. Because what I like, to start off as a draft channel, I like, kind of talking about other people's teams. I know that sometimes you don't get to really hear about your team a lot in the mainstream media. And I felt like I was bringing joy to a lot of people who were like, my team's not talked about. At the time I made a video about Purdue, nobody was really talking about Purdue like that. And then Purdue ended up being number one seed. I think they're a number one tournament seed. And it's just talked about Houston early. One of my biggest video ever across any YouTube thing I've ever done was the video I did about Arkansas, who are 8 seed in here. And I think they go against Illinois, which is going to be a great matchup, by the way, today. Just so much has happened, but I am so glad to be back. You can start expecting videos consistently now. I just feel like I'm back into everything set. My room's not set quite how I wanted to be, or office area, but it is what it is. But that's not what you're here for. You're here to watch the bracket. You're here to watch me do the bracket, watch my bracket get busted in the first game. This is my work bracket that I'm doing for work. So I have an incentive to do as best as I can in this bracket. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm not going to talk any longer, but once again, just thank you for all the support. The channel's still been growing despite me not uploading, and I really appreciate that. I really do. But like I said, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the bracket. So first game we're going to do, Alabama, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi. The CC does not stand for community college. I'm still going to Alabama. Alabama's just that. There's no reason Alabama should lose that game. I watched Texas A&M Corpus Christi night before, and they have some pretty good players. I forgot they have this guy named Isaac. I don't really quite remember his name, but he's really good at getting to the line. He's an efficient player, good rebounder. That's not enough to beat Alabama. Next is Maryland versus West Virginia. Also, I would like to say, I watch a lot of college basketball. However, this season with the moving and all that stuff, I have not been able to watch as much as I would like to. So I don't know everything. It's hard to remember all these players' names, hard to remember what coaches where. But for the most part, I got an idea. So if I get something wrong, hey, just let me know, because I want to learn. I want to know more. I want to be better at what I'm doing. So just easily correct me. I mean, I have no problem being corrected whatsoever. But Maryland, West Virginia. West Virginia has always just been a tough out in the conference. I mean, in the tournament. I mean, you got who's the Bobby Huggins? I think Bob Huggins is the coach there. He always just brings a stout defense. I mean, it's hard to bet against him, so that's why I'm just going to go West Virginia. Maryland's a good team. I just think West Virginia has it. Charleston versus San Diego State. I've watched a couple of San Diego State games this year just because they were on late night, and so after I'm done moving and working and all that stuff, I can catch them late night. They don't impress me too much. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Charleston's able to take away this game from them. I don't really this information is useful, but it's hard to make your prediction based off of it. And I mean, I just don't see San Diego State doesn't have that wow factor to me. Charleston, I keep saying Charleston State. Charleston State actually earlier in the year, not that it mean much, was actually giving work to Carolina, and Carolina finally broke through. That's my team. If you don't know, they suck and they're not in the tournament. But anyway, Charleston kept up with them for a long period of the time, like a long period of the game. North Carolina almost lost that game. Like I said, not saying much, but does say credit to Charleston. So, I think Charleston is just going to come in something to prove. Like I said, San Diego State just hasn't been that much. They haven't won me over, really, so we're just going to go Charleston. Virginia versus Furman. I think Furman's a really good team. I watched them play in their conference tournament. They blew out somebody, but they're a really good, capable team. I like how they play. It's hard to go against Tony Bennett and the Cavaliers here, but as Virginia is probably one of the better defensive teams in college basketball, Furman is one of the better offensive teams. We know that if you can slow the game down, I think you can cause damage in the. It's all about pace in a tournament. If you can slow a team down, I think it's going to kill them. But if you can speed a team up, it's going to kill them. I don't think Furman's going to be able to speed Virginia up the way Virginia's going to be able to slow Furman down. This is an upset potential game. However, I'm going for Virginia. Creighton, North Carolina State. North Carolina State likes to run. Creighton has just a lot of big bodies on their team that probably cannot keep up. I mean, you have to expect a good game from Arthur Kaluma and Alexander. I forgot his first name. Is it Tony? I may be getting that wrong, and I apologize for that. But Ryan Kalkbrenner, I don't think that he's just going to be able to keep up with this team. You got Turk Smith. If Turk Smith is super inefficient or anything like that, I think that can really harm this team. But I just think pace-wise, I think North Carolina State can really beat Creighton. Wouldn't be surprised, obviously, the other way. However, I just don't think Creighton has what it takes to keep up with North Carolina State because everybody on that team can run, despite Creighton have much better talent. I may come back and change that the more I talk about it. Baylor, I don't see Baylor losing to, is this Cal Berkeley or whatever? Not Berkeley, but it's something, Santa Barbara. I'm about to say it's some California team. I'm just going Baylor. Baylor's just too dynamic of a scoring team. I think they just have, you have Keontae George. This is a great team overall. Missouri and Utah State. This is a tough one because this isn't my first bracket, but this is the bracket I'm putting the most into. I saved it for the video because I didn't want, to kind of be too biased when I came in here. I've just been struggling. Sometimes I pick Missouri. Sometimes I pick Utah State. Obviously, that's kind of the point of the bracket, but I just think Missouri has played tough competition in SEC, and I think they fared well. They're 6-4. I don't know if all those are against. This is kind of like why I like the ESPN one more because it tells you the big games they won and lost. But going against, I know Missouri's kind of on a skid. It doesn't say anything about that. Yeah, they're 2-9 when they failed to score 70 points. I mean, Utah State allows 70 points, so I guess I'm going to just go with the numbers here and just go Missouri, but I wouldn't be surprised if Utah State won that. We're going Arizona here. That's an easy one. There's no way Arizona's lose to Princeton at all. And we're kind of going to speed this up because we're 6 minutes in. Purdue, I think Purdue's going to beat, what is this? Fair is something. Don't tell me. I forgot. I forgot. Fairleigh Dickinson. Yeah. I like them. I like watching them. They played yesterday? I like watching them yesterday. Memphis. I think Memphis is going to beat FAU. I don't really think FAU has what it takes to keep up with Memphis and how stout Memphis is defensively and how they turn that defense and offense. I'm going Duke, even though Oral Roberts is once again, I think 2 years ago they were in the tournament. Once again, Max, I forgot to say his name because it's not how you pronounce. It's not, you don't say it the way it's spelled, but I really do think that Oral Roberts can upset Duke here, and that's not because I hate Duke. I really do. I feel like and I say anybody, to be honest with you, I really wouldn't say Duke is the hottest team right now, so I'm going Duke. But if really anybody was there, Oral Roberts is just that team that punches you in the mouth, and I think that can catch a lot of teams off guard. But Duke is Duke. At the end of the day, I don't think they're going to lose that game. Tennessee, Louisiana, is that state? Not state, but yeah, Raging Cajuns. Yeah. Anyway, Tennessee's going to win that game. Kentucky and Providence. I have Kentucky. Providence, I just don't see them having what it takes to keep up with Kentucky. Kentucky can out-rebound them. They can outscore them with Toppin. I forgot his first name, but it's just, I think Kentucky just has too much. Cason Wallace, one of the best pure point guards in the upcoming draft, I believe, in my opinion. Well, traditional point guards, I should say. And you're not going to be Oscar Tshiebwe. You're not going to be able to keep up with him on the boards. I don't think that Providence just has what it takes. So we're going Kentucky there. I've picked Montana State in this spot before. I don't think Kansas State, I mean, they do have Jerome Tang, as it says right here, as a great coach. I saw the coaching story about him as about how he gave his last dollar to feed somebody else on the coaching staff or something like that, and now he's the Big 12 Coach of the Year. I think Kansas State is a good team. Keontae Johnson, Marquise Noel, they are tough offensively. Is it there? It's not. My thing is, it's not Montana State having a great game I'm worried about. I'm worried about Kansas State not doing what they need to do in order to win this game. But it'd be easy to go with the bigger team here as far as just Kansas State has been good all year. But it's just tough. It's tough. I'm going Kansas State. I think it's safe to say that Kansas State will win that game. This one is a game where I don't know. This one I really don't know. I could see USC winning, but I really just believe in Tom Izzo, and I just don't think Tom Izzo is going to go out in the first round. I'm not saying it hasn't happened before. I think they lost to a 14 seed a few years back, but my light turned off. Okay, it's flickering. But anyway, I'm not quite sure. We're just going to go Tom Izzo here. and go for that. If my light turns off, hey, it is what it is. Marquette, I think, is going to win this game. UCLA, I think, is going to win this game. Northwestern and Boise State. Northwestern was good at the beginning of the year, and I felt like they kind of fell off a little bit. They're not that good offensively, as you can tell. Like I said, my light went off. Ignore it. In fact, I'm just going to turn it down right here. I'm going to just turn it off, and we're going to do it like this. I hope that's okay. But yeah, I don't think Northwestern has what it takes to really keep up with Boise State. And I know I've said that like a lot about a lot of teams, but Boise State, I think, is a really good offensive team. I don't think Northwestern is going to have the defense to be able to stop what Boise State can do offensively. So we're just going to go Boise State here. And granted, I think a big discrepancy here that you could be missed out on is Northwestern plays in the Big Ten. Boise State plays in the Mountain West Conference. So that's why the numbers are kind of inflated for Boise State. However, I'm still going Boise State. I'm going Gonzaga here. I'm going Arizona State here. I really like Arizona State. I really like what they do. They have the Cambridge brothers, I think, who are, and then they're just a running gun team, at least from what I've seen. And it's hard to keep up with that. It's hard to keep that pace in the tournament, but if you can, it's hard for teams to keep up with you. So I'm going Arizona State here. I'm going UConn here, even though Rick Pitino's at Iona. Is it Rick Pitino? Yeah, I know it's a good coach. Great coach. Yeah, it is Rick Pitino. But UConn's just too talented with Jordan Hawkins. I think it's just going to be it's not going to be an easy game for Rick Pitino, and I don't know. I can say that much. I'm going St. Mary's here. This is probably one of the hardest games to pick. We'll go ahead and pick Kansas here. This is one of the hardest games to pick. My heart wants me to pick Arkansas. I love Arkansas. I love a lot of the players on that team. It's just they cannot shoot a lick. Even with Nick Smith Jr., they cannot shoot threes. Let's see where they are. Yeah, look at their three-point percentage. I mean, granted, Illinois' three-point percentage is horrible too, but they cannot shoot. What I'm going to give Arkansas, though, is they just got athletic people all across the board, and I don't think Illinois has what it takes. They don't have the guys to guard them on the perimeter. They don't have the guys to keep up with them at all when it comes to tempo. If they want to speed it up, it's all up to Anthony Black as far as the pace. Well, Nick Smith Jr. too, but for the most part, I'm just going to Arkansas. I think Arkansas is just going to be too much to handle. However, Arkansas is extremely inconsistent. So all it does is take a decent game from Illinois while Arkansas is being inconsistent, and Illinois can easily win that game. Texas, I think it's a great defensive team despite changing coach in the middle of the season. They're just a really good team. And also, we're going to go Texas A&M. I just really haven't heard much from Penn State. Haven't been watching too much college basketball, like I said. So please don't base any of your bracket. Well, I'm trying to release this so no one can be like, oh, you crashed my, well, you broke my bracket. No, don't listen to me. I haven't been able to watch as much college basketball, but I have went back and watched a lot of these teams on YouTube and things like that. And Penn State never jumped out to me in the I think game I watched. Xavier, I'm going with Xavier over Kennesaw State. One, because I'm in Georgia and I know how Kennesaw State operates. I just know that they're not going to be able to keep up with a team like this. Glad they're in the tournament. Maybe they can have like a Georgia State run, but I don't see that happening. Xavier is too good, too talented. You have Kobe Jones over there. I just don't see Kennesaw State doing what they need to do. Iowa State and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was an interesting team coming in. I think that they have some good players. They are a pretty decent three-point shooting team, I would say. Let's see. Yeah, they're shooting 36% from three. Iowa State, in the games I watched, they looked a little sloppy. And they have good wins. It's just it's one of those things where they easily could just lose this game. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, not because they're the highest seed, but because they've been playing really tough competition all year. Big 12 has been the much better conference than the ACC this year. And Pitt, like I said, is good, but I think Iowa State is probably better despite the records. So we're going to go Iowa State. Indiana and Kent State. Would not be surprised. Kent State has suffocating defense. That I know for sure, because this is a game where I was like, it's really going to be interesting to see. I really looked out to see what type of how Kent State plays, because you have a freshman point guard in Jalen Hood-Schifino for Indiana, but you have a upperclassman in Tracy Jackson Davis. But I mean, we see that Jalen Hood-Schifino can get kind of. He can get off his rocker a little bit. I feel like teams can, stress him out a little bit, have him create turnovers. He can become inefficient. Kent State plays that suffocating defense. They're also top 20 defensive team in field goal percentage. And as good as Indiana is at scoring, I think that playing a team like Kent State, nothing to really lose. Just playing, like I said, aggressive defense, I think that they can really cause problems, especially with a freshman point guard. However, Tracy Jackson Davis can control the game. He's one of those players. So if Jalen Hood-Schifino is not able to step up I think Tracy Jackson can. It's making me more want to pick Indiana, but it's hard. That I might have to come back to that one. I'm going Miami here. And I'm going to speed this up because I'm already 15 minutes in and haven't done anything. And then we're going to go Iowa here. I'm going for Chris Murray. And then we're going Houston here. I'll come back down. I'll do Kent State. Let's make it interesting. And then I'll go in Houston here right here. Kent State and Miami. I think Miami is too good of a team. I think they should have went further last year. I think they beat Auburn, who was the number 1 seed or something like that. And then they end up losing to Kansas, I want to say. But Miami's a really good team. I think Isaiah Wong or Isaac Wong or something like that? I could have really just got it wrong. Yes, Isaiah Wong. I think he's a great player and not talked about enough, to be honest. I'm going Xavier here, Texas here. Let's just go ahead and finish this out. And then I'm going Houston, and then I'm going Texas. Texas, just their defense is just ridiculous to me in a good way. And we're going Kansas here, and then we'll go UConn right here. Sorry I'm speeding this up, but I don't want to take all of your time. I'm trying to release this before the first game, and right now it's early. So there's still time, but still. And then we're going to go Arizona. Arizona State's not that good. But they run, and they're just fast. You got Julian Strother and Drew Timme here, though. And I don't think Arizona has what it takes, I think, to frustrate Gonzaga. So we're going to go upset there. And I'm going to go UCLA here. You got Jaime Jaquez and Amari Bailey. I think that's just going to be Boise State's not going to be able to handle them. Then we're going to go Marquette here. Then we're going to I'll go Kentucky here. That's because, like I said, I'm not too sold on Kansas State. And Kentucky's a team, get hot at the right time. I think they can do it. Duke and Tennessee, I think I'm going Duke. Memphis, I'm going Memphis. I like Memphis in this tournament. I know it's Purdue. I know they have Zach Edey. But if Memphis can go and get on the run like we know they can, I think it's going to be tough. And either you want to take Zach Edey out of the game or he's just going to get torched. Now, it could be also vice versa, too, because Zach Edey, I don't think Memphis has anybody to really pair up with Zach Edey. However, if they can get their way and get on the break, Purdue really can't catch up, especially with freshman guards. It's just going to be too much for them. And then we're going to go Alabama here, Virginia here, Baylor here, Arizona here. We're going to go Alabama here. I think Virginia might be the tougher team. It's just the more well-rounded team, being able to play defense, well coached. I'll go Alabama, and then we'll go Arizona here. Arizona's too good of a team to not have right there. And then, did I do it? Am I missing anything? Oh, I didn't do. Okay, I'm in an Elite 8, so I need to go. Okay, so or is that Sweet 16? I'm in a Sweet 16. All right, so right here, I'm really gonna go Memphis. I think Memphis has a chance to beat Duke. I think Duke is a little inconsistent at times. They are getting hot, but I think that as the games start piling up, going back to back to back, I think it's going to slow them down a little bit. And in the ACC, it was a little easy for them, so I don't think that was a real test. Marquette we'll put right here. I think they're going to be Kentucky, Kansas over UConn, and then I'm going to UCLA over. Am I going UCLA over Arizona State? Yeah, I'm going UCLA over Arizona State. And then we'll go Marquette. It don't feel right. This right here doesn't feel right to me, honestly. We're going to go Kansas. We're going to go Kansas right here. And we're still going to go Marquette. And then up here, we'll go Houston. Oh, is it going to be 1-1 over there? Probably. And then I'll go Arizona right here. I feel like they have more of a team than Alabama, just more of an all well-rounded, well-coached, just so much going for them history-wise. It's not really based off this season, but just in the past, I think they're just a really good team. Like I said, well-coached. I think they have a lot of good players on that team, despite not having like Brandon Miller, but they have a lot of different guys that can hurt you, and therefore I got to go with Arizona. I'm going Arizona over Marquette. I'm going Houston over Kansas, and I think I'm going Houston in the game. I think Houston's going to be the champion. If they can stay healthy, you got Marcus Sasser, who's kind of fluctuating in health, but if they can stay healthy, I think Houston really could be a problem in this tournament. You got Jarris Walker, you have Jamal Sneed or Sheed, I think one of the best defensive perimeter players in college basketball, probably. I think he would get a lot more talk, and you can say this for a lot of people, but I think he would get a lot more talk in the NBA draft if he wasn't so short. But anyway, we'll do the points. I'll say it's going to be like 65 to 60, so that's 125, or not 155, 125. And then boom, there we go. Houston is our champions. I think I'm really comfortable with that pick. But it's going to be a fun tournament nonetheless. So make sure you just watch every game. And I'm glad to be back. I'll definitely be releasing videos as the tournament goes on. But once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.